now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Yasher.
Khan. Shabbat shalom, Israel. Shabbat shalom.
To all the brews scattered to the four corners, giving all praises to the Most High. Hey, want to welcome you back. So last week was able to break down the whole origin of Esau. I really pray that many of our people got that, and even those who may not even be part of our channel or might have been from a camp or something. I just really hope they get that, because it's really easy breakdown, easy to understand when it comes to Esau. But unfortunately, it seems like a lot of our people still they just want to cling on to those kind of things. But I'm just glad that the Most High made a way for us to really break that down. I'm going to go ahead and get into our scripture reading. We're back in the book of Exodus, chapter 20. And we're going to be going over the fourth commandment. I'll go ahead and start off there. It says, Remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
But the seventh day is the Shabbat of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy maidservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So that means that the seventh day of the week, which is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, is a hallowed day, is a special day and a blessed day by the Lord, and we must keep it holy.
Man, I really love go out there, man, right before the sunset, man. I like to blow because I sit up on the hill so I can see all the way to the Fresno Mountains. So I always like to blow my horn, my shofar towards the east, man. That thing be loud though, man. I know some of the neighbors be hearing that stuff, boy.
I know that's right.
That horn be hidden, man. Sound like a little amphitheater up there. That's right. All right, Yasher. So we're going to be getting more into details with the sons of Jacob when they went to war with the sons of Shechem. So, we kind of left off where Dinah was, she was raped by some heathens, Shechems, and they tried to just kind of give you a synopsis of what was going on. They wanted to mingle, or they wanted to be as one. So that means that the people of Shechem, the men of Shechem, had to be circumcised. And so, once they did that, then, the sons were like, nah, we're good, So now we're going to be getting into some wild stuff. And you're going to think, man, that where are they getting these power from? You're going to think they're superhero villains. Like the way they be warring with these dudes, You're gonna wonder. You're gonna be like, okay, I see where they got the X-Men from. I see where all they got, Batman and all these superheroes from.
Let me see. You want to start out with the first 10 out?
All right, no problem. Y'all can. All right. All right, son. All the kings of the Amorites. Oh, give me a second.
Yeah.
Let me adjust my screen right quick.
Do your thing up.
All right. And all the kings.
Okay. No, go ahead.
And all the. Oh, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
I was about to say why Brother Daniel is adjusting the screen as usual. If you have any qualms or any questions, we're going to provide a link at the end of during the end of the broadcast for you guys to come on and you can ask any questions, or if you have any disagreements that you want to ask, you can ask those too. All right, that's it. Go ahead.
All right. And all the kings of the Amorites came and took their stand in the field to consult with their counselors what was to be done with the sons of Jacob. For they are still afraid of them, saying, Behold, 2 of them slew the whole of the city of Shechem.
How many?
And the whole city. It says 2 of them slew the whole of the city of Shechem. There's 2 of the brothers. So that tells you right there, man, that we come from a generation of some seriously true strength of people.
God.
And the Lord heard the prayers of Isaac and Jacob, and he filled the hearts of all the kings and advisors with great fear and terror, that they unanimously exclaimed, verse 3, "Are you silly this day? Or is there no understanding in you that you will fight with the Hebrews? And why will you take a delight in your own destruction this day? Behold, two men came to the city of Shechem without fear or terror, and they killed all the inhabitants of the city, that no man stood up against them. And how will you be able to fight with them all? Surely, so it's crazy because they're like, man, if you can't handle two, how you think you're gonna handle all the sons? It says, surely you know that their God is exceedingly fond of them, and has done mighty things for them, such as have not been done from days of old, and amongst all the gods of nations. There is none can do like unto this mighty deeds. Surely he delivered their.
I'm gonna scroll up.
Go ahead.
All
right. Surely he delivered their father Abraham, the Hebrew, from the hand of Nimrod, and from the hand of all his people, who had many times sought to slay him. One thing about the other nations, especially when it comes to us, they know, like all the nations knew all the deliverance that the Most High had done unto for us, our people. Starting with Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob. They always knew anytime the sons of Jacob went to war with someone, that the word got out that, hey, don't mess with those guys, man. They'll mess you up. Verse 7, he delivered him also from the fire in which King Nimrod had cast him, and his God delivered him from it. So they had a recollection of all these things. And who else can do the like? Surely it was Abraham who slew the 5 kings of Elam when they had touched his brother's son, who in those days dwelt in Sodom. I had a recording of that too.
What's that? 5 kings.
Yep, 5 kings. And took his servants that was faithful in the house, and a few of his men, and they pursued the kings of Elam in one night and killed them, and restored to his house brothers, son, all his property which they had taken from him. And surely the God of these Hebrews is much delighted with them. And see, that right there is key, Yasharel. And this is why when we read these books, you need to realize it pays to keep the commandments, because when you obey the commands of the Most High, that's when you know that the favor of the Most High is on you. And they are also delighted with him, for they know that he delivered them from all their enemies. And what is the price with that? Coming with that power, you got to keep the commands of the Most High. You got to be in his good grace. And Abraham kept the law, as the scripture says. Isaac, then Jacob, his 12 sons, all the way up to King David and after.
It's weird because just like it says in the scriptures, how we'll lose our history, and that, those folks there will be congregating together and they'll be scheming together to make us not a nation anymore. You can see that they definitely have done that, just because nobody is fair, it's fair to do us wrong anymore, because they know that, we're not with the Lord anymore. Back in those days, man, we was God's people, and the Most High, man, he made sure that everybody knew it. Verse 11. And behold, through his love toward his God, Abraham took his only and precious son and intended to bring him up as a burnt offering to his God. And had it not been for God who prevented him from doing this, he would have then had done it through his love to his God. And God saw all his works and swore unto him and promised to him that he would deliver his sons and all his seed from every trouble that would befall them, because he had done this thing, and through his love to his God stifled his compassion for his child. And have you not heard what their God did to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to Abimelech, king of Gerar, through taking Abraham's wife, who said of her, she is my sister, lest they slay him on account of her, and think of taking her for her wife. And God said unto them and their people, all ye Slakia, and their people all that you have heard. Right. So God, I mean, it's like, so they're just saying a bunch of miracles and a bunch of, things that the Most High has done, that God has done for them during this particular time on the earth. And through the chosen seed of Abraham, right? These things have all happened. And behold, we ourselves saw with our eyes that Esau, the brother of Jacob, came to him with 400 men with the intention of slaying him, for he called to mind that he had taken away from him his father's blessing. Right, which is what Brother Daniel was breaking down the last week, saying that that's the ending of Esau, right? And he went to meet him when he came from Syria to smite the mother with the children who delivered him from the hands, but as God in whom he trusted. He delivered him from the hand of his brother and also from the hands of his enemies, and surely he again will protect him. Who does not know that is their God, who inspired them with strength to do the town of Shechem the evil which you heard of, right? In other nations' eyes, us coming up is evil, right? I want y'all to think about that, right? It says that, we did Shechem evil. It was evil for us to destroy Shechem, even though, Shechem took our foremother and, did the worst to her, and we ended up destroying the city. Right, but that shows you right there that anything that we're doing good, right, to the rest of the world, right, they think that it's evil, right? They don't like us coming up. They don't want us being successful or any of these things, right? That to them, that to other nations is evil.
It's interesting because they know that once we come up like that, and then it's going to put them out of whack. That's why when you had these so-called Black Wall Streets across not just only Tulsa, Oklahoma, but across the Midwest and Florida as well. They had to do something. They had to find an excuse to burn those towns down. Lake Lanier is another example, because then that will put them out of the competition. This is why when people say that, well, we can live in a melting pot, we can live with other nations. No, it was never designed that way. The Most High never designed it that way. And that's why the Most High told us to never join these other nations for anything.
God. Verse 17. Could it then be with their own strength that two men could destroy such a large city as Shechem, had it not been for their God in whom they trusted? That's important, right? We don't do grand things or amazing things without trusting in the Most High.
That's right.
He said and did unto them all this to slay the inhabitants of the city and their God. And this is the main reason why the heathens do not want us coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments of God. This is why they create ghettos. This is why they try to make it hard. This is why they promote twerking and baby mamas and all of this stuff in our neighborhoods. This is why they allow the heathens and these Asians or whatever to move into your neighborhood and they sell you all of this, food that's against the dietary law, right? Say all this pork, lobster, whatever the stuff is that that they're giving to you. They don't want you to come back to your true power, which is following the law, statutes, and commandments. What parent doesn't want to do good for their son or daughter when they see them doing their best and they see them living a righteous life, right? It doesn't happen, right? A parent would will give their last to a son or daughter that's trying hard and doing the right thing. It's the same thing with the Most High, the same thing with Hamashiach. Verse 18. And can you then prevail over them who have come forth together from your city to fight with the whole of them, even if 1,000 times as many more should come to your assistance, right? Because they knew the what? 2 men that slew the whole city of Shechem, right? So it's like, man, it don't matter if you have 1,000 and 2,000 men, 2 men killed that, what was it, like 10,000 in the city? So it doesn't matter how many men you get. 12, 12 sons of Jacob, man, that's the equivalent of 120,000 soldiers. Verse 19. Surely you know and understand that you do not come to fight with them, but you come to war with their God who made choice of them. And you have therefore all come to this day to be destroyed. And this is what the other nations hate. They hate that God has chosen us and not them. And therefore refrain from this evil which you are endeavoring to bring upon yourselves. And it will be better for you not to go to battle with them, although they be but few in number, because their God is with them. Right? Throughout the whole scriptures, that's the that's the mantra, right? That's the lesson. Without God, we're nothing. Without obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments and becoming holy, God is not going to pay you any attention. He's not going to give you any blessings, no protection, no nothing.
That's right. Hey, before I read verse 21, I want to just re-elaborate over verse 19, because there's something important that I wanted to bring out right quick. I want to read that first part right quick, and I want y'all to really pay attention to this. And I'm going to show you why the nations feared our people. It says, surely you know and understand that you do not come to fight with them, but you come to war with their God who made choice of them. You know, the heathens can care less what you call yourselves. You can call yourselves foundational Black America, whatever. You can call yourselves so-called African American. You can call yourselves Hoteps. You can even call yourselves Hebrew Israelites. They don't care about that. The thing that makes them afraid is the fact that who the Most High chose, the God that they serve, the God that's always over them. And when Brother Eitan brought out earlier, is the fact that they don't want us to keep the commandments. That is a true statement, because that's something we have not been doing. You know, many of our people acknowledge who they are. Many of our people acknowledge that they're Hebrew Israelite, but that's where it stops. It just stops there. They don't make no effort to keep the commandments. They don't make no effort to live righteous. They don't make no effort to even keep the Shabbat. Nothing. It's just, okay, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. All right, so what? What does that mean? What do you do from here? You see what I'm saying? But you still living like the world. So, you know, the heathens can care what you call yourselves, and that don't matter. That don't matter to them. But the moment that you begin to keep those commandments, come together, and the moment that the Most High puts us in favor again, that's when they're going to be afraid. So that's when all that's going to break loose. All right. You can scroll back up to 21. All right. And when the kings of the Amorites heard all the words of their advisors, their hearts were filled with terror. Of course, for every good reasons, because again, they knew it wasn't so much the brothers that they were really afraid of; it was the God that favored them, and they were afraid of the sons of Jacob and would not fight against them. And they inclined their ears to the words of their advisors, and they listened to all their words. And the words of the counselors greatly pleased the kings, and they did so. And the kings turned and refrained from the sons of Jacob, for they durst not approach them to make war with them, for they were greatly afraid of them, and their hearts melted with them from the fear of them. For this proceeded from the Lord to them, for he heard the prayers of his servants Isaac and Jacob. Because remember, the heathens don't have a God; they're godless. That's why when you see in the scriptures, to the godless, when it talks about the godless, it's talking about the other nations because they don't have a God. Right. For they trusted in him, and all these kings returned with their camps on that day, each his own city, and they did not at that time fight with the sons of Jacob. I'm gonna scroll there to 25.
Oh yeah, that's it. 25, the last one.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, and the sons of Jacob kept their station that day till evening opposite Mount Shion, and seeing that these kings did not come to fight against them, the sons of Jacob returned home. And I'll read the next five on next verse. All right. At that time, the Lord appeared unto Jacob, saying, Arise, go to Bethel, and remain there, and make there an altar to the Lord, who appeared unto thee, who delivered thee and thy sons from affliction. And Jacob rose up with his sons and all belonging to him, and they went and came to Bethel according to the word of the Lord. So he about to get it in. And Jacob was 99 years old when he went up to Bethel. Man, 99.
Walking, chilling.
Yeah.
Or maybe ride on the back of a donkey or something.
Yep. Can you imagine? Even back then, man, the vital forces of a 99-year-old Hebrew man was just unparalleled. And Jacob and his sons and all the people that were with him remained in Bethel and Luz. And he there built an altar to the Lord who appeared unto him. And Jacob and his sons remained in Bethel 6 months. And you know something I always noticed, man, like those who were always faithful, they always built an altar unto the Most High. No matter where they were, they always built an altar unto the Most High. You know, and I can't stress how important that is. At that time died Deborah, the daughter of Uz, the nurse of Rebekah, who had been with Jacob, and Jacob buried her beneath Bethel, under an oak that was there. And Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the mother of Jacob, also died at that time in Hebron. The same is Kirith Arba, and she was buried in the cave of Machpelah, which Abraham had bought from the children of Heth. I was go ahead and read the Tanakh.
I was about to tell you, that's, man, you read my mind, brother.
Yeah, no, wait, keep it. All right. And the life of Rebekah was 133 years. Wow. Do that again. And the life of Rebekah.
True.
Yep.
That old man's strength was different.
Back then, man. It says, and the life of Rebekah was 133 years, and she died. And when Jacob heard that his mother Rebekah was dead, he wept bitterly for his mother, and made a great mourning for her, and for Deborah, her nurse, beneath the oak. And he called the name of that place Alan Bahuth. And Laban the Syrian died in those days, for God smote him because he transgressed the covenant that existed between him and Jacob.
You don't get that in the scriptures, do you? And I don't think that's in the 66 books, do you? Hey, that's not in the canon, is it?
I don't think that's in the regular book, the Genesis. I've never
remember how Laban died?
Yeah, it says, and Laban the Syrian died in those days, for God smote him because he transgressed the covenant that existed between him and Jacob. Yeah, because he didn't do what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, he was doing the most right there.
Yep. And Jacob was 100 years old when the Lord appeared unto him, and blessed him, and called his name Israel. And Rachel, the wife of Jacob, conceived in those days.
Whoa! So he was 100 when he wrestled all day and all night. Hey,
and Jacob was 100 years old.
Hey, Drake, he said that old man's strength was different back in the days. Remember, man, he wrestled him all day long.
And then remember too, the wisdom was much greater too.
God.
So and Jacob was 100 years old when the Lord appeared unto him, and blessed him, and called his name Israel. And Rachel, the wife of Jacob, conceived in those days.
Yeah, go ahead.
And at that time, Jacob and all belonging to him journeyed from Bethel to go to his father's house, to Hebron. And whilst they were going on the road, and there was yet but a little way to come to Ephrath, Rachel bare a son, and she had a hard labor, and she died. So we know that it was Benjamin,
when his original name was Ben-Oni.
Ben-Oni, yep.
Yeah. Which means bring her death or something, birth to death or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was in Hebrew.
Something of pain or something like that.
But something is death in there too. I know that's for sure. We'll look it up later. Verse 11. And Jacob buried her in the way of Ephrath, which is Bethlehem, right? Bethlehem's the hood, right? And he set a pillar upon her grave, which is there to this day. And the days of Rachel were 45 years, and she died, right? 45 years, and she died. And Jacob called the name of his son, that which was born to him, which Rachel bare unto him, Benjamin, for he was born to him in the land on the right hand, right? Because his mother named him Ben-Oni, but Jacob changed his name from Ben-Oni to Benjamin, okay? You'll get that in the 66. It says, and it was after the death of Rachel that Jacob pitched his tent in the tent of her handmaid Bilhah. And Reuben was jealous for his mother Leah of this account. And he was filled with anger, and he rose up in his anger and went and entered the tent of Bilhah, and he thence removed his father's bed. At that time, the portion of birthright together with the kingly. Hold on, wait. Hey, which one was it? Reuben was doing the most, isn't it?
Yeah, it was Reuben. It was the firstborn.
Okay, so he was man of Leah, and then he went to approach Bilhah on account of that and did that. That seems crazy, isn't it? Oh, okay. 15. And at the time, the portion of birthright, together with the kingly and priestly offices, were removed from the sons of Reuben, for he had profaned his father's bed, and the birthright was given unto Joseph, the kingly office to Judah, and the priesthood to Levi, because Reuben defiled his father's bed. He should have been put to death for that, right? Because remember, Bilhah didn't even know what was going on at that. Remember, Bilhah was like, I didn't know until he turned around and I tried to flee. That's what Jew believes, right? It says, and these are the generations of Jacob who were born to him in Paddan Aram, and Paddan Aram, and the sons of Jacob were 12, where we get the 12 tribes of Israel, right? And the sons of Leah were Reuben, the firstborn, and Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, right? Zebulun, and their sister Dinah, right? So again, let's just go back to the chart real quick, right? You know, I like to always do this. So if they say that the Judah is the so-called Negroes and Levi is the Haitians or whatever or something like that, they say, right? And they all look the same. They all came from the same. How the hell you get Issachar? Where did the Mexican come from? It doesn't make sense, right? You see where it says down there you got Issachar, it got Mexicans. How could you have that? That don't even look right. Another cut to that stupid chart, right? All right, you can remove that. Thank you. Good looking. And the sons of Rachel were Joseph and Benjamin, right? Joseph and Benjamin. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, were Gad and Asher. And the sons of Bilhah were Rachel's handmaid, were Dan, Naphtali. And the sons of Jacob were born to him and Paddan Aram. Right now, back in these days, you see that even though it was one man, he had 4 wives. There was no complaining or none of this other nonsense that we have here in America. Right? It was common sense that there was more women on the earth than there was men, so they would have to share. Right? And Jacob and his sons and all belonging to him journeyed and came to Mamre, where is Kirith Araba, that is in Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac sojourned, and Jacob with his sons and all belonging to him dwelt with his father in Hebron. And his brother Esau and his sons, all belonging to him, went to the land of Seir and dwelt there and had possessions in the land of Seir. And the children of Esau were fruitful and multiplied exceedingly in the land of Seir. It means they had plenty of black babies.
Yep.
All right, it's on you, Walk 21.
All right. And these are the generations of Esau that were born to him in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Esau were 5. And Adam bare to Esau his firstborn Eliphaz, which we read before. And she also bore to him Reuel. And Alehama bore to him Jeush and Ulam and Korah. These are the children of Esau who were born to him in the land of Canaan. And it wasn't Europe, it says the land of Canaan.
You want to skip
the sons? No, I'll read through it. And the sons of Eliphaz, the sons of Esau were Teman. Well, yeah, I guess because we've read it before too. So
we better
go down to
dealing with this. Dealing with Esau.
Yep.
So we'll
let's go down to
man, you can start at 30 and then read 10. You can start from there.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so just kind of a synopsis. You guys go back over this when you get a chance, though. But we did the breakdown Esau, and I also did it again back in earlier of Jasher as well too. Right. Says, and there was a day that he brought them to one of the deserts of the seashore, opposite of the wilderness of the people. And whilst he was feeding them, behold, a very heavy storm came from the other side of the sea and restored upon the asses that were feeding there. And they all stood still. And afterwards, about 120 great and terrible animals came out from the wilderness at the other side of the sea, and they all came to the place where the asses were, and they placed themselves there. And those animals, from the middle downward, were all in the shape of the children of men, and from the middle upward, and some had the likeness of bears, and some had the likeness of kephers, with tails behind them from between their shoulders, reaching down to the earth, like the
Mm.
tails of the deepest, the douchey douchey type.
Ah,
I never heard
that's wild.
it.
I mean, either that's wild.
And these animals came and mounted and rode upon these asses and led them away, and they went away unto this day.
They went away into what?
And one of these animals away unto this day.
Con.
And one of
That's
these
where they
animals
get
approached.
Salaki out, right? And so these are where they get those stories about, you know, centaurs and all of that other stuff that they have back in those and that they say are myths, right? But we see in the scriptures, right, they really aren't myths. They're probably staying over there in that extra land over there that General Byrd found.
I know, over there beyond the ice wall. I know, man, it's crazy. It says, and one of these animals approached Anna and smote him with his tail, and then fled from that place. You see something like that, man, you wouldn't know what to think. And when they saw this work, he was exceedingly afraid of his life, and he fled and escaped to the city. And he related to his sons and brothers all that had happened to him. And many men went to seek the asses, but could not find them. And Anna and his brothers went no more to that place from the day following, for they were greatly afraid of their lives. And the children of Anna, son of Seir, were Dashan and his sister Elibamah, and the children of Dishon and Hamdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Cheran, and the children of Ezer were Belan, Zivan, and Akin, and the children of Dishon were Uz and Aran. These are the families of the children of Seir to Horite, and according to their dukedoms in the land of Seir. So remember, the Horites also were a part of the Canaanites. Quote the 38.
That's the last one, right at 38 out.
Oh, okay. Okay. And Esau and his children dwelt in the land of Seir to Horite, the inhabitants of the land, and they had possessions in it, and were fruitful and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob and his children and all belonging to them dwelt there with their fathers Isaac in the land of Canaan. And the Lord had commanded Abraham, their father.
Someone read a comment. We may be related to the islanders. We definitely are. If you read Isaiah 11:11, it tells you that we are. Those are where our people are most likely spread to.
Yeah.
All right. Chapter 37. And in the 150th. No, I'm sorry. I read that all wrong. In the 105th year of the life of Jacob, that is the 9th year of Jacob's dwelling with his children in the land of Canaan, he came to Paddan Aram. And in those days, Jacob journeyed with his children from Hebron. And they went and returned to the city of Shechem, they and all belonging to them. And they dwelt there. For the children of Jacob obtained good and fat pasture land for their cattle in the city of Shechem. The city of Shechem having been rebuilt. Rebuilt after they'd been destroyed. And there were in it about 300 men and women. And Jacob and his children and all belonging to him dwelt in a part of the field where Jacob had bought from Hamor, the father of Shechem, when he came from Paddan Aram, before Simeon and Levi had smitten the city. Right. That's amazing, man. Imagine if you got just two big brothers coming through, just destroying everything in sight. You can't do nothing about it. And those kings of the Canaanites and Amorites that surrounded the city of the Shechem heard that the sons of Jacob had again come to Shechem and dwelt there. And they said, so the sons of Jacob, the Hebrew, again come to the city and dwell therein, after they have smitten its inhabitants and driven them out. Shall they now return and also drive out those who are dwelling in the city, or slay them? And all the kings of Canaan again assembled, and they came together to make war with Jacob and his sons. I don't know why would they do that. That's just straight retarded. If two of them whooped all of y'all, why would y'all do that? That's crazy. Right. And Jasher, king of Tapnach, sent to all his neighbors kings, to Elon, king of Gash, and to Huri, king of Shiloh, and to Parathon, king of Shazar, and to Sushi, king of Sartan, and to Laban, king of Beth Choran, and to Shabir, king of Othanei, saying, "Come up to me and assist me, and let us smite Jacob the Hebrew and his sons, all belonging to him, for they are again come to Shechem to possess it and to slay its inhabitants as before." And all these kings assembled together and came with their camps and people exceedingly plentiful, like the sand upon the seashore, and they were all opposite to Tapnach. And Jasher, king of Tapnach, went forth to them with all his army, and he encamped with them opposite of Tapnach, without the city. And all these kings they divided into 7 divisions, being 7 camps against the sons of Jacob. 7 kings against the 12 brothers. Man, okay, let's get it in. It's about to go down. It's on you, Wak, verse 11.
All right. Well, they not ready for that.
Nah, come on.
All right. And they sent a declaration to Jacob and his son, saying, "Come you all forth to us, that we may have an interview together in the plain, and revenge the cause of the men of Shechem, who you slew in their city. And you will now again return to the city of Shechem, and dwell therein, and slay its inhabitants as before." Yep. And the sons of Jacob heard this, and their anger was kindled exceedingly at the words of the kings of Canaan. And the 10 of the sons of Jacob hastened and rose up, and each of them girt his weapon of war. And they were ready, man. They had all their stuff with them. And there were 102 of their servants with them, equipped in battle array. And all these men, the sons of Jacob, with their servants, went toward these kings, and Jacob their father was with them. So, man, Jacob, he was 100 years at this time?
Yeah, he over 100
man,
now.
Over 100, man. Got a sword.
Yeah, he
in his hand,
105.
man.
He 105 now.
Man, 105 and got a sword in his hand, man. Getting ready to dice and slice.
Getting busy at 105 is crazy.
That's wild. And they
man.
I mean, you know they had to be fit, man. Like, Jesus, man, them boys had to be fit, like you wouldn't believe.
That just goes to show you, man, the aging wasn't the same as it is nowadays, man.
No, man, no.
You age rapidly now.
Yep. And they all stood upon the heap of Shechem. And Jacob prayed to the Lord for his sons, and he spread forth his hands to the Lord, and he said, "O God, thou art Almighty God. Thou art our Father. Thou didst form us, and we are the works of thine hands. I pray thee, deliver my sons through the mercy from the hand of their enemies, who are this day coming to fight with them, and save them from their land. For in thy hand is power and might to save the few from the many." Go and scroll to 15.
Gotcha. Go on.
All right. "And give unto my sons, thy servants, strength of heart and might to fight with their enemies, to subdue them and make their enemies fall before them. And let not my sons and their servants die through the hands of the children of the Canaan. But if it seemeth good in thine eyes to take away the lives of my son and their servants, take them in thy great mercy through the hand of thy ministers, that they may not perish this day by the hand of the kings of the Amorites." And when Jacob ceased praying to the Lord, the earth shook from its place, and the sun darkened, and all these kings were terrified. And a great, I'm gonna read that again, man. That was
what?
And I remember reading that too, man. It says, "And when Jacob ceased praying to the Lord, the earth shook from its place, and the sun darkened, and all these kings were terrified, and a great consternation seized them." So can you imagine that, man? You know, here you are, man. You full of wisdom. This old man who's praying, is the father of the sons of the 12 tribes. I mean, he's the father of the 12 tribes. Man, he's praying before these kings, and then all of a sudden he ceases, man, looks to the sky, and all of a sudden the sun darkens. Man,
That's
that
was prayer.
Yeah.
And the Lord say in 17 and 16, he say, through the mercy of the hands of thy ministers, meaning like, Lord, let the angels kill him, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these heathens kill him, let the angels kill him and take him.
Yeah. And the Lord hearkened to the prayer of Jacob, and the Lord impressed the hearts of all the kings and their hosts with the terror and all of the sons of Jacob. For the Lord caused them to hear the voice of chariots, and the voice of mighty horses from the sons of Jacob, and the voice of a great army accompanying them. Oh, that's funny, man. And these kings were seized with great terror at the sons of Jacob. And whilst they were standing in their quarters, behold, the sons of Jacob advanced upon them with 112 men, with a great and tremendous shouting. And you're going to see a lot of shouting, a lot of speeches.
From Judah. From Judah. It says, verse 21, and when the king saw that the sons of Jacob advancing toward them, they were still more panic struck, and they were inclined to retreat from before the sons of Jacob as at first, and not to fight with them. And they did not retreat, saying, it would be a disgrace for us to retreat from before the Hebrews. And the sons of Jacob came near and advanced against all these kings and their armies, and they saw, and behold, it was a very mighty people, numerous as the sands of the sea. And the sons of Jacob called unto the Lord and said, help us, O Lord, help us and answer us, for we trust in thee, and let us not die by the hands of these uncircumcised men, whom this day have come against us. And the sons of Jacob girt on their weapons of war, and they took their hands, each man his shield and his javelin, and they approached to the battle. And Judah, the son of Jacob, ran before his brethren, and 10 of his servants with him, and he went toward these kings. And Jasher, king of Tapnach, also came forth first with his army before Judah, and Judah saw Jasher and his army coming toward him. And Judah's wrath was kindled, and his anger burned within him, and he approached to battle, in which Judah ventured his life. And Jasher and all his army were advancing toward Judah, and he was riding upon a very strong and powerful horse. And Jasher was a very valiant man, and covered with iron and brass from head to toe. And whilst he was upon the horse, he shot arrows with both hands from before and behind. Man, this man was a beast, showing off, right? You know what I mean? He shot arrows with both hands from before and behind, meaning that he was, shooting in front, and then he was shooting from behind his back with his other arm, right? So meaning the dude was showing off, right? And it says, and when Jasher came to fight with Judah and was darting many arrows against Judah, the Lord bound the hand of Jasher, and the arrows that he shot rebounded upon his own men, right? Go ahead, Slocky. Oh yeah, man, this is a good story. Dang, you get to read this.
You read that too fast, huh?
I know, man.
Read it way too fast, man. All right, but yeah. Now, and notwithstanding this, Joshua kept advancing toward Judah to challenge him with the arrows, but the distance between them was about 30 cubits. And when Judah saw Joshua darting forth his arrows against him, he ran to him with his wrath exceedingly excited might. Can you imagine? So, these two, the enemy of Judah is coming towards, and then all of a sudden Judah just, man, that drilling that just builds up in him. Oh, he said, this on sucker now. It says,
Judah's the beast though, man, if you think about it, because this dude is shooting arrows toward him, even though the Lord is causing him to miss him and hit his own soldiers, right? Judah's got to be a beast to just, straight up just start charging in like that. That dude shooting arrows at him.
Hey, look up the weight of 60 shekels, man. That ain't no lightweight, man. 60 shekels. I want to say that's like 100 something pounds. Can you look at that right quick? Judah. It says, and Judah took up a large stone from the ground. All right. It wasn't no small stone. It says a large stone from the ground, and its weight was 60 shekels. And Judah ran towards Jasher, and with the stone struck him on his shield. That Jasher was stunned with the blow and fell off from his horse to the ground. You get the weight of that 60 shekel?
Yeah, it's coming up now, man. You know, these computers.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. So he took a big old stone off the ground and smote the shield of Jasher. Can you just picture that, how that looked? If you were to paint a picture, and here's this guy riding towards you with his horse, and you smack that stone against his shield, and it knocks him off the horse, completely off the horse, into the ground. That's a big stone to be doing something like that.
Let's say, hold on. Oh, no, it's locked in. Ancient weight.
Yeah, why you find it? I'll finish reading this.
Oh, and man, dang, man. That's a 60 and then 5 times 30. Oh, man, that's a doggone 90-pound weight.
Okay, that's what I thought. It was around some of that round. I thought it was like 100 or something, but 90 pounds, yeah, that's still, man, that's good size. Almost 100 pounds. And the shield burst asunder out of the hand of Jasher. And through the force of the blow sprang to the distance of about 15 cubits. So it knocked him quite some feet back. And the shield fell before the second camp. And the kings that came with Jasher saw at a distance the strength of Judah, the sons of Jacob, and what he had done to Jasher. And they were terribly afraid of Judah. So yeah, man, Judah just knocked the dude off with a stone, knocked him about a good 3 feet off the dog, about 5 feet off the horse, knocked the shield off, he lost his balance, and he had a shield. Knocked the shield all the way back to the second camp. Yeah.
Hey, it said hit him with a shield so hard that hit him with the stone so hard that the shield busted apart.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if you try to block a blow and this dude, he hit you with something so hard that it'll bust your whole shield open. You're not going to want to take that hit with your arm, or you're not going to want to block anything from that dude if he just busted the whole shield.
And the kings that came with Jasher saw at a distance the strength of Judah, the sons of Jacob, and what he had done to Jasher, and they were terribly afraid of Judah. And they assembled near Jasher's camp, seeing his confusion. Can you imagine, man? He just looking like he just been knocked out, man. He's getting back up, trying to get himself back composed again. And Judah drew his sword and smote 42 men of the camp of Jasher. And how many men? And 42 men of the camp of Jasher. And that's only just to scratch the surface that we're getting ready to read and get into. And the whole of Jasher's camp fled before Judah, and no man stood against him. And they left Jasher and fled from him. And Jasher was still prostrate upon the ground.
Begging for his life. You know what I mean? That man was begging for his life right there, man. Just Judah alone did that in his little group of soldiers. Man, Judah took out on the shield and just slew 46 men. It's still on you. You got 5 more verses.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. And Jasher, seeing that all the men of his camp fled from him, hastened and rose up with terror against Judah, and stood upon his legs opposite of Judah. And Jasher had a single combat with Judah, placing shield towards shield. And Jasher's men all fled, for they were greatly afraid of Judah. So he must have got him another shield, because the other shield was busted up. And Jasher took his spear in his hand and to strike Judah upon his head. But Judah had quickly placed his shield in front of his head against Jasher's spear. Man, I wish we could just show you just like what it would look like, if this thing was in real, man. Like the Most High opened up the veil and we were able to see the battles. Man, we'll be like, man, it's probably be the greatest war movie ever made.
Come on, man.
So that the shield of Judah received the blow from Jasher's spear, and the shield was split in two.
And when Judah saw, strong too now. Hold up now. Yeah. Jasher's strong too now. Be able to split a shield in two with a spear.
Yep. And when Judah saw that his shield was split, he hastily drew his sword and smote Jasher at his ankles and cut off his feet.
He did what?
Cut off his feet. That Jasher fell upon the ground, and the spear fell from his hand. And Judah hastily picked up Jasher's spear, with which he served his head, and
Severed.
cast it to the next, and severed and cast it to the necks of his feet. Man,
Okay. Hey, Israel, picture what's going on, right? It said that after Judah had blocked and the shield split open, right? Judah took his sword, and he is so strong that he cut that man's feet off while he was standing on him, right? So he fell with his feet still standing up, and then after that, he chopped his head off and throw his head over there by his feet.
yep.
Man, that's some
With his
legendary warrior stuff. You
with
see
with his own with his own spear,
God.
chopped off his head with his own spear, and then cast it by his feet.
And when the sons of Jacob saw what Judah had done to Jasher, they all ran into the ranks of the other kings. And the sons of Jacob fought with the army of Jasher and the armies of the kings that were there. And the sons of Jacob caused 15,000 of their men to fall, and they smote them as if smiting girds. And the rest fled for their lives, right? I mean, it's like they were beating them down like they was nothing, like they were bums. And Judah was still standing by the body of Jasher and stripped Jasher of his coat and mail, right? He was dead. No head now, right? And no feet. Judah like, man, get this. Hey, man, let me get this coat of mail off you, man. I need this. Mine already chinked up, man, from battling you heathens. And Judah took off the iron and brass. Go ahead.
He didn't just chop off one foot, man. He chopped off both them jokers, man.
Facts, man, in one swing. Hey, in one swing, bro. That's imagine how fast and how powerful that is to chop off 2 feet in one swing. Why are you standing up? Right, that's unheard of power right there. So it says, and Judah took off the iron and the brass that was about Jasher, and behold, 9 men of the captains of Jasher came along to fight against Judah. And Judah hastened and took up the stone from the ground, and with it smote one of them in the head, and his skull was fractured, and the body also fell from the horse to the ground. Right. And the 8 captains that remained, seeing the strength of Judah, were greatly afraid, and they fled. And Judah with his 10 men pursued them, and they overtook them and slew them. And the sons of Jacob were still smiting the armies of the kings, and they slew many of them. But those kings daringly kept their stand with their captains, and did not retreat from their places. And they exclaimed at those of their armies that fled from before the sons of Jacob, but none would listen to them, for they were afraid for their lives, lest they should die. Remember what it says in Exodus, that the Lord is a man of war, right? That the Lord is a man of war. Especially, he gonna let his people, man, like that's just like the greatest show of ever. The Lord just get to sit back and give his people power and then watch them do incredible feats.
Hey, so remember the prophecy we broke down in Enoch, man, where it says in the last days that his people will be given swords. The ones who keep the commandments will be given swords, man. Now that's gonna be a hell of a sight.
That's right. All praises. It says, what was that? 48. And all the sons of Jacob, after having smitten the armies of the kings, returned and came before Judah, and Judah was still slaying the 8 captains of Jasher and stripping off their garments. And Levi saw Elon, king of Gash, advancing toward him, and his 14 captains to smite him. But Levi did not know it for certain. And Elon with his captains approached nearer, and Levi looked back and saw that the battle was given him in the rear. And Levi ran with 12 of his servants, and they went and slew Elon and his captains with the edge of the sword. Man, Israel's untouchable, man. Untouchable. It's on you, chapter 38.
Yep, got it. Man, I was just thinking about, man, I wish we could see a visual of this. All we can do is just picture a visual in our minds, though, man. Seeing these brothers going at it, man. Yeah.
With this AI, ain't gonna be long until we be able to animate something like this. You can just plug it in and they'll be able to animate it.
Yeah, take this. I'm gonna have to do that, man. Take this same scene, man, and get it done. All right, verse 1. And Nahiri, king of Shiloh, came up to assist Elon, and he approached Jacob. And when Jacob drew his bow that was in his hand, and with the arrow struck Ehiru, which caused his death. Man, says, and when Jacob drew his bow that was in his hand, and with and with an arrow struck Ehuru, which caused his death. And when Ehuru, king of Shiloh, was dead, the 4 remaining kings fled from their station with the rest of the captains.
Yo. Think about this though. He is a sword master and he can shoot the bow and arrow. Man, he is a beast warrior, man.
Yeah. And they endeavored to retreat, saying, "We have no more strength with the Hebrews after their having killed the 3 kings and their captains, who were more powerful than we are." And when the sons of Jacob saw that the remaining kings had removed from their station, they pursued them. And Jacob also came from the heap of Shechem, from the place where he was standing. And they went after the kings, and they approached them with their servants. And the kings and the captains with the rest of their armies, seeing that the sons of Jacob approached them, were afraid of their lives, and fled till they reached the city of Chezar. Go ahead and scroll up to 5.
Go on. Let's go, you.
What's going on? Okay.
For some reason, I think they won't scroll up for some reason. Hold on, I don't know what's the other thing I can scroll up. Like it's stupid. All right, there we go.
Yep. And the sons of Jacob pursued them to the gate of the city of Chezar, and they smote a great smiting amongst the kings and their armies. About 4,000 men. Y'all hear that? About 4,000 men. There's 12 brothers, man. About 4,000 men. And whilst they were smiting the army of the kings, and that's not a small number, y'all, for an army. Jacob was occupied with his bow, confining himself to smiting the king, and he slew them all. Dang. Jacob slew them all. And he slew Parathon, king of Chezar, at the gate of the city of Chezar. And he afterwards smote Sushi, king of Sarton, and Laban, king of Bethroin, and Shabar, king of Macnayim, and slew them all with arrows, and arrows to each of them, and they died. Man.
He's remember now, he's 105.
He's 105.
You know, so he's 105 being the green archer over here.
That tells you, man, that Jacob was a master bowman, boy. He can shoot that. He's a master archer, boy. He can shoot that bow. And the sons of Jacob, seeing that all the kings were dead, and that they were broken up and retreating, continued to carry on on the battle with the armies of the king opposite the gate of Chezar, and they still smote about 400 of their men. So on top of the 4,000, another 400. And 3 men of the servants of Jacob fell in that battle. All right. So 3 men of the servants of Jacob. And notice it was the servants, but not the sons themselves. And 3 men of the servants of Jacob fell in the battle. And when Judah saw that 3 of his servants had died, it grieved him greatly, and his anger burned within him against the Amorites. Go ahead and scroll that up. Yeah. And all the men that remained of the armies of the kings were greatly afraid of their lives, and they ran and broke the gate of the walls of the city of Chezar, and they all entered the city for safety. And they concealed themselves in the midst of the city of Chezar, for the city of Chezar was very large and extensive. And when all these armies had entered the city, the sons of Jacob ran after them to the city. This is where it's going to really start getting exciting, because you're going to see some wall fighting.
Right, but I just want to go back to the verse where Jacob had killed them boys with the arrows, right? Killed all the kings with the arrows. Now, in the beginning when old boy, he first ran up and then he got smoked by Judah, the kings probably backed up a little bit or was in like a little safe space, you know what I mean? Or doing battle near the back of the line where they weren't really in danger. For Jacob to be able to kill all of them with a bow and arrow means that at 105, he still had the strength of Samson damn near. Right, you got to think about it. He's from far away, you know what I'm saying? Zooming them down. at 105 something years old.
Mm-hmm. And he had the favor of the Most High too, man. But
Uh.
I can only imagine, man. Back then, like we think of something like if we see that today, man. You know, a person who would be like 105 today would probably be confined to a bed or something like that, or to a wheelchair, man. But back then, man, those struggles were moving around like a 25-year-old, man. I mean, like it wasn't nothing.
Man. Verse 11. That's right, brother. It says that shows his eyesight was great as well. Khan. Right. And 4 mighty men experienced in battle went forth to the city and stood against the entrance of the city with drawn swords and spears in their hands. And they placed themselves opposite the sons of Jacob and would not suffer them to enter the city. And Naphtali ran and came between them, and with his sword smote 2 of them and cut off their heads in one stroke. Right. All the brothers was like that. It said he ran, came between them, and, you know, probably did some kind of 360 move and chopped off both of their heads in one stroke. Because he's between them, right? So, you know, he had to do some spin around move. You know, this is crazy, man, right? They the first ancient ninjas. And he turned to the other 2, and behold, they fled, and he pursued them, overtook them, and smote them and slew them. And the sons of Jacob came to the city and saw, and behold, there was another wall to the city. And they sought for the gate to the wall and could not find it. And Judah sprang upon the top of the wall. Hold up now, what? Hold up now, man. This man got gazelle strength. This man did. Hold on, I got a slack here, Israel.
Hey, this is what I was saying, man. Y'all getting ready to see some wall fighting. This is where it gets really interesting.
Let's read that again. Verse 14. And the sons of Jacob came to the city and saw, and behold, there was another wall to the city. Right. So, you know, these walls are not small. Right. These walls are gigantic. They're a protection to the city to keep out, you know, folks, and you had to go through the gate, you know, just like we see in like old times. Right. To block out stuff, to deal with all kind of war engines and people with that catapult stuff. Right. These are big walls. Right. And it says, and they sought the gate of the wall and could not find it. Right. Because they was looking for the gate to try to get into the city to kill him. Right. And Judah sprang upon the top of the wall, and Simeon and Levi followed him, and they all the 3 descended from the wall into the city. So they was like, man, bump finding the gate to the city. Let's jump over the wall. So they done jumped up on top of the wall, which was ain't no telling how high it was. Right, probably the greatest high jump. Man, you think Michael Jordan is something? They said this man jumped on top of the wall. Man, you know, I imagine it's something like the China Great Wall or something like Trump trying to build, right? Now we got our ancestors, man. He just, you know, hopped up over there like it was nothing. And Simeon and Levi slew all the men who ran for safety into the city, and also the inhabitants of the city. Hey, man, and Simeon and Levi, man, they're the same 2 that did what? Israel. They're the same 2 brothers that stuck together, and then what did they do?
When they slew the whole
Khan, right? Khan, brother Daniel, you know, gave y'all the answer though. I don't know why he did that. You know, I mean, but brother Daniel gave you the answer. Said that, you know, these 2 brothers, man, they slew the whole city of Shechem by themselves, so they were used to warring together.
Oh, hey, it's in the scriptures, man. You just got to read it. There.
Brother said they moved like they was Power Rangers.
X-Men, X-Men,
right? That joke is wow.
Hey, look, running up walls, man, running up 10 feet up a wall, slaying soldiers, boy.
It says, and Simeon and Levi slew all the men who ran for safety into the city, and also the inhabitants of the city with their wives and little ones. Right. So, right. You know, we didn't have any war rules back then, man. If you had it with Israel, man, we killing everybody. You know what I'm saying? The wives, the children, everybody getting it. Right? We don't want nobody surviving. Leave no enemy behind. That was man.
Hey, you know what? You know why they did that? Hey, just before you go on, man, I want to make a point here. That's important because remember when the Most High told through Samuel told Saul to kill all those people, young and old, women and children. Why do you think that is? Because if you don't, guess what? That envy is still going to be there, and then somebody's going to rise up, and they're going to come back for revenge. And that's exactly what happened. when our people went into captivity. That's why they couldn't drive them out. Ended up going into captivity so many times. But if they would have if Saul would have did what the Most High said, they wouldn't have had to worry about that. So this is why you have to kill. When the Most High says kill all these people, you gotta get rid of all of them so they don't come back and try to get you in the next generations, because they pass that stuff down.
Also what I noticed too in the fight, that they usually fight in pairs, right? And then at this time when they fought in 3, when Simeon, Levi, and Judah had fought together, that goes back to the scripture. It says what 2 is a strong cord, and 3 can hardly be beaten, or something like that, right? You know what I mean? 3 can't be beaten, and we see that right here in the scriptures, right? It says right, first we see Simeon and Levi, they're paired up together. Then we got 16, we got Daniel and Naphtali. And Dan and Naphtali sprang upon the wall to see what caused the noise of the left. Man, they sprang upon the wall too. Man, this is like it's natural for them to jump this high and do this incredible stuff, right? And Dan and Naphtali sprang upon the wall to see what caused the noise of lamentation, for the sons of Jacob felt anxious about their brothers. And they heard the inhabitants of the city speaking with weeping and supplications, saying, "Take all that we possess in the city and go away. Only do not put us to death." Right, they were scaring the hell out of them boys. And when Judah, Simeon, and Levi had ceased smiting the inhabitants of the city, they ascended the wall and called to Dan and Naphtali, who were upon the wall, and to the rest of their brothers. And Simeon and Levi informed them of the entrance into the city. And all the sons of Jacob came to fetch the spoil. And the sons of Jacob took the spoil from the city of Jasher, the flocks and herds and the property, and they took all that they could be captured, and went away that day from the city. And on the next day, the sons of Jacob went to Sartan, for they heard that the men of Sartan who had remained in the city were assembling to fight with them for having slain their king. And Sartan was very high and fortified city, and it had a deep rampart surrounding the city. And the pillar of the rampart was about 50 cubits, and its breadth 40 cubits. And there was no place for a man to enter the city on account of a rampart. And the sons of Jacob saw the rampart of the city, and they sought an entrance in it, but could not find it. All right. So you Oct 21.
Let's get it. Let's
go.
For the entrance to the city was at the rear, and every man that wished to come into the city came by that road and went around the whole city. And he afterwards entered the city. And the sons of Jacob, seeing they could not find the way into the city, their anger was kindled greatly. And inhabitants of the city, seeing that the sons of Jacob were coming to them, were greatly afraid of them, for they had heard of their strength and what they had done to Jasher. And the inhabitants of the city of Sartan could not go out toward the sons of Jacob, after having assembled in the city to fight against them, lest they might thereby get into the city. But when they saw that they were coming toward them, they were greatly afraid of them, for they had heard of their strength and that what they had done to Jasher. So, they were like, man, we ain't trying to risk this stuff. We already seen what the sons of Jacob can do.
I just scrolled up to 24.
Yep, I see it. So the inhabitants of Sartan speedily took away the bridge of the road of the city from its place. And it ain't gonna work. Before the sons of Jacob came, and they brought it into the city. And the sons of Jacob came and sought the way into the city and could not find it. And the inhabitants of the city went up on top of the wall and saw, and behold, the sons of Jacob were seeking an entrance into the city.
I know they were scared.
What?
I know they were scared, looking down there on top of the wall, seeing them trying to look for a way in.
Yeah, they probably thought, oh, here they come up the wall. And the inhabitants of the city reproached the sons of Jacob from the top of the wall, and they cursed them. And the sons of Jacob heard the reproaches, and they were greatly incensed, and their anger burned within them. And the sons, watch this, y'all. And the sons of Jacob were provoked at them, and they all rose up and sprang over the rampart with the force of their strength.
Dang, man.
The rampart is like, so it's like you have a wall, and then you got that rampart that's above, like that, like slight area, man. So that's pretty high. It says, and the sons of Jacob were provoked at them, and they all rose and sprang over the rampart of the force of the with the force of their strength, and threw their mighty past the 40 cubits breadth on the rampart. Man, that's pretty high, man. And
Nah,
when
man,
they
that's
had
super high,
passed,
man.
yeah, and when they had passed the rampart, they stood under the wall of the city, and they found all the gates of the city enclosed with iron doors. Oh, is that the last 129?
I'm sort of no. We got
Okay.
more. Okay.
Okay. And the
I'm
sons
trying
of
to get a good picture of a rampart so they can see, but it only.
yeah, and I could put one up too if we can't see it. It's like a, and the
It's like
sons
a
of
road
Jacob,
to your gate, like down. They let down. Go
right?
ahead.
Yep. And the sons of Jacob came near to break open the door of the gate of the city, and the inhabitants did not let them. For from top of the wall they were casting stones and arrows upon them. And the number of the people that were upon the wall was about 400 men. And when the sons of Jacob saw that the men of the city would not let them open the gate of the city, they sprang and ascended the top of the wall. What? They sprang and ascended the top of the wall. And Judah went up first to the east part of the city.
Judah was always with it, man. He with the action. Judah about that action. Right. And Gad and Asher went up after him on the west corner of the city, and Simeon and Levi to the north, and Dan and Reuben to the south. Right. So they boys, man, man, like for real, Power Rangers for real. They're encompassing the city, right? So they're scaling the walls where they're jumping up on the walls from all directions. And the men who were on top of the wall, the inhabitants of the city, seeing that the sons of Jacob were coming up to them, they all fled from the wall, descended into the city, and concealed themselves in the midst of the city, hiding, cowards. So now you want to stand on top of the wall, talk trash, right? You know, talk all this mess, do all this other stuff, and then all of a sudden when we coming in, now you want to hide. Now you want to hide in the bushes, right? 33. And Issachar and Naphtali that remained under the wall approached and broke the gates of the city, and kindled the fire at the gates of the city, and the iron melted. Man, I wonder how hot was that, right? How hot was that? How hot was that fire in order for it to melt the iron? Right?
Yeah, man, you got to melt iron, man. That thing got to be over like at least 4,000 degrees to melt iron,
right? Yeah, you see the work of the Lord here is for real.
Yeah.
It says, and all the sons of Jacob came into the city, and all their men, and they fought with the inhabitants of the city of Sartan, and smote them with the edge of the sword, and no man stood before them. And about 200 men fled from the city. They ran like cowards. And they all went and hid themselves in a certain tower in the city, and Judah pursued them to the tower, and they broke down the tower, and they fell, which fell upon the men, and they all died. What? Judah pursued them to the tower. Judah said, I'm going to just knock down the tower and kill them all inside. Come on, man. You know, they had to, you know what I'm saying? That's brick and mortar, right? So that's some kind of stone, some kind of stone building that they ran in, and Judah with his power, he was able to break down the tower and kill all 200 men that ran inside. Especially if it's able to fit 200 men, that's a large tower. That's not something small, right? I mean, like, man, the strength of our forefathers is on another level. Come on, man. I see all day whether we getting these, stories like Colossus and the X-Men and all of this stuff from. All you gotta do is just read about our forefathers, right?
That's what I was saying earlier, man. That's where they get it from. Superpowers, man. Go look at the people of Dr. Doom, man. I mean, you know where they get it from, man. These comic books. Stan Lee, when he was writing all that stuff, man, he knew what he was doing.
Jacob is Dr. Doom to them boys. Jacob is Doom.
Shit. Dr. Doom.
And the sons of Jacob went up the road to the roof of that tower, and they saw, and behold, there was another strong and high tower at a distance in the city, and the top of it reached to heaven. And the sons of Jacob hastened and descended and went with all their men to that tower. So this is a big old tower, right? So it was like one of these skyscrapers that we got today, and found it filled with about 300 men, women, and little ones. And the sons of Jacob smote a great smiting against those men in the tower, and they ran away and fled from them. And Simeon and Levi pursued them. When 12 mighty and valiant men came out to them from the place where they had concealed themselves. And I mean, man, they weren't valued. They've been hiding, but let the story read. And those 12 men maintained a strong battle against Simeon and Levi, right? 12 against 2, right? They maintained a strong battle against Simeon and Levi, and Simeon and Levi could not prevail over them. And those valiant men broke the shields of Simeon and Levi, and one of them struck at Levi's head with his sword. When Levi hastily placed his hand to his head, for he was afraid of the sword, and the sword struck Levi's hand, and it wanted but a little to the hand of Levi being cut off. To the hand of Levi being cut off. And Levi seized the sword of the valiant man in his hand and took it forcibly from the man. Wow. And with it, what? Okay, so this man done struck Levi and he done caught the sword in his hand. Right? Without his hand being cut off. They said, but wanted but a little to the hand of Levi being cut off, meaning that it only cut Levi's hand a little bit when he caught the sword. Right? And Levi seized the sword from the valiant man in his hand and took it forcibly from the man. And with it, he struck at the head of the powerful man and he severed his head. Are you serious right now? So he done took the man's sword, some kind of way turned it around, and one kind of swift stroke and cut the man's head off. And 11 men approached to fight with Levi, for they saw that one of them was killed. And the sons of Jacob fought, but the sons of Jacob could not prevail over them, for those men were very powerful. It's on you, Waxalaka.
All righty, let's get it. And the sons of Jacob, seeing that they could not prevail over them, Simeon gave a loud and tremendous shriek. Now, this was no James Brown shriek. Ow! That was no James Brown, boy. That was something more terrifying. Says Simeon gave a loud and tremendous shriek. I wonder what that sounded like, man. That must have been crazy. It says, and the 11 powerful men were stunned at the voice of Simeon shrieking.
I'll be right back.
Like, I've never, man. That's like something you see in an action hero movie or something like that, and somebody all of a sudden they scream this like some kind of frequency, man, just goes out and then just destroys them or something, That's what this reminds me of. And Judah at a distance knew the voice of Simeon shouting, and Naphtali and Judah ran with their shields to Simeon and Levi and found them fighting with those powerful men, unable to prevail over them as their shields were broken. And Naphtali saw that the shields of Simeon and Levi were broken, and he took 2 shields from his servants and brought them to Simeon and Levi. And Simeon, Levi, and Judah on that day fought all 3 against the 11 mighty men until the time of sunset. So they were battling out. I mean, they were getting it in. And, back in those days, too, you can only imagine the strength of those brothers being able to go for so long, But because today, with everything being poison, chemical induced, and, man, there's no way, man, our people will be able to last that long. Unless we go back to the old ways. It says, but they could not prevail over them. And this was told of Jacob, and he was sorely grieved, and he prayed unto the Lord. And he and Naphtali, his sons, went against these mighty men. And Jacob approached and drew his bow, and came nigh unto the mighty men, and slew 3 of their men with the bow. That was powerful, man. And somebody said that, you have to really have good eyesight. So that tells you his eyesight was really good. And the remaining eight turned back, and behold, the war waged against them in the front and rear. And they were greatly afraid of their lives, and could not stand before the sons of Jacob. And they fled from before him. Man, I'm going to scroll up to 47. Man, this is something, man. This is the unity I long for, man, with brotherhood. Man, only if we can just get back to the commandments, man. Just imagine, man, what our people can do and accomplish. And in their flight, they met Dan and Asher coming towards them, and they suddenly fell upon them and fought with them and slew 2 of them. And Judah and his brothers pursued them and smote the remainder of them and slew them. And all the sons of Jacob returned and walked about the city, searching if they could find any men and they found about 20 young men in a cave in the city. And Gad and Asher smote them all. They none behind. And Dan and Naphtali lighted upon the rest of the men and had fled and escaped from the second tower, and they had smote them all.
Ain't no running. Ain't no running.
Yeah, ain't no running where to go, man. They back into a corner. And the sons of Jacob smote all the inhabitants of the city of Sarton, but the woman and little ones they left in the city and did not slay them. And all the inhabitants of the city of Sarton were powerful men. One of them would pursue 1,000, and two of them would not flee from 10,000 of the rest of men. Man.
Man, you know, I thought that was unique also that, hey, you go ahead and read 51 and 52 as well. That's the end of the chapter.
Okay, that's the chapter. All right. Go ahead. You about to say something?
Yeah, but I thought what was unique is that, you know, even during the battle, that those brothers, they was able to hear each other's voice and be like, oh man, you know, that's Judah over there, or you know, that's Naphtali over there. You know what I mean? I mean, this is how much over the sounds of battle. Because remember, they had their services too that was battle. So you see a whole bunch of clanking of swords and yelling and screaming and doing all the other stuff, man. And just still to be able to hear your brother in the midst of the city somewhere, you know, battling out, man, and being able to go to him, man. That just tells you how strong the voices of Judah, I mean, just the voices of our, you know, forefathers were.
Yeah. Plus, you know, growing up together too, you know, they all kind of knew each other's ways and everything. And this is not their first rodeo fighting together. So, you know, it says, and the sons of Jacob slew all the inhabitants of the city of Sarton with the edge of the sword, that no man stood up against them. And they left the women in the city. And the sons of Jacob took all the spoil of the city and captured what they desired. And they took flocks and herds and property from the city. And the sons of Jacob did unto Sarton and its inhabitants as they had done to Chezer and its inhabitants. And they turned and went away.
Verse 39, I'm in chapter 39. And when the sons of Jacob went from the city of Sarton, they had gone about 200 cubits when they had met the inhabitants of Tapnach, coming toward them. But they went out to fight with them because they had smitten the king of Tapnach and all his men. So all that remained in the city of Tapnach came out to fight with the sons of Jacob, and they thought to retake from them the booty and the spoil which they had captured from Shazar to Sarton. And the rest of the men of Tapnach fought with the sons of Jacob in that place, and the sons of Jacob smote them, and they fled from before them, and they pursued them to the city of Arbelan, and they all fell before the sons of Jacob. It says they all fell before the sons of Jacob, right? This is the beauty of what we can do if we keep in the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. But if we don't, it's going to be the other way around. As we've been seeing, we've been getting our ass kicked for hundreds and hundreds of years. And I don't know about God.
And still getting kicked.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting tired of it, right? And the sons of Jacob returned and came to Tapnach to take away the spoil of Tapnach. And when they came to Tapnach, they heard that the people of Arbelan had gone out to meet them to save the spoil of their brethren. And the sons of Jacob left 10 of their men in Tapnach to plunder the city. 10. That's all it took. 10 men in Tapnach to plunder the city. And they went out toward the people of Arbelan. Scroll up. Verse 5. And the men of Arbelan went out with their wives to fight the sons of Jacob, for their wives were experienced to battle. And they went out, about 400 men and women. And all the sons of Jacob shouted with a loud voice, and they all ran toward the inhabitants of Arbelan, and with a great and tremendous voice. And the inhabitants of Arbelan heard the noise of the shouting of the sons of Jacob, and their roaring like the noise of lions, and like the roaring of the sands of his and its waves. Now I want y'all to pay attention. All the women that want to be in the military and they want to fight and they want to think, they want to do what men do, right? It's the heathens that are doing this, right? So if you want to be like a heathen, go ahead, get your woman to get in the military and, fight and do all that other nonsense, right? But just notice that the children of Israel, all the men are fighting. The women are at home chilling with their feet up as we go out and we lay and belt the ass. It says, and the inhabitants of Arbelan heard the noise of the shouting of the sons of Jacob, and they're roaring like the house of lions and like the roaring of the seas and its waves. And the fear and terror possessed their hearts on account of the sons of Jacob. and they were terribly afraid of them. And they retreated and fled before them into the city. And the sons of Jacob pursued them to the gate of the city, and they came upon the city. So they didn't even do nothing, right? They were just scared. And man, they didn't even try to fight. And the sons of Jacob fought with them in the city, and all their women were engaged in slinging against the sons of, so apparently the women were slinging. So what does that mean? Right? They had slingshots, right? So they were throwing rocks from afar. Smart. Right? Slinging against the sons of Jacob, and the combat was very severe amongst them from the whole of that day till the evening. And the sons of Jacob could not prevail over them. And the sons of Jacob had almost perished in that battle. And the sons of Jacob cried unto the Lord and greatly gained strength toward evening. Right? Toward evening, that's sundown, right?
Yep.
And the sons of Jacob smote all the inhabitants, right, of Arbelan by the edge of the sword, the men, the women, and the little ones.
We have to take them out.
So don't go out fighting. That's not your duty. Stay home and chill.
That's right. And also, that was the other nations that was doing that, because women did fight. Like in the other nations, Israel is one of the only nations where the women did not battle, had nothing to do with battle.
You see what happened, man? Lord killed everybody too, women, children, and the men.
Yeah, but it's common, like among Hamites, Canaanites, to use the women, as battle, because they used everything. But we had a value for our women, and we knew that the woman's place was not on the battlefield.
At least they were smart enough to have them, far away to doggone, throwing rocks and stuff. So there wasn't really like in the midst of the battle, like, with swords.
They still got killed. They still got killed, though.
Yeah, that's how they played. They're not supposed to be doing that.
All right, verse 11. And also the remainder of the people who had fled from Sartan, the sons of Jacob, smote them in Arbelan. And the sons of Jacob did unto Arbelan and to Tapnach. Almost sounds like Tupac. Tapnach, as they had done in Jasher and Sartan.
Wow.
And when the women saw that all the men were dead, they went upon the roofs of the city and smote the sons of Jacob by showering down stones like rain. Oh man, these folks crazy. It says, and the sons of Jacob hastened and came into the city and seized all the women and smote them with the edge of the sword.
Oh man, that is,
it's like, all right, you want to try to be a man? We're gonna treat you like a man. You want to battle,
man? You think you chopping me with rocks upside my head? That had to be hurting too, man.
Hey, look, and this.
I know they couldn't wait to get a hold of them, boy.
And the sons of Jacob hastened. They said hasten and came into the city. Man, I get to see a picture, man. Like Judah knocking over stuff, man, knocking over barrels. Let me and get after these women, boy. Throwing these stuff at us.
Them boy went home lumped up, boy. They had them speed knots from the rocks getting hit.
He wasn't saying like that, man. He probably calling women all kinds of names on his way up there. It says, and the sons of Jacob hastened and came into the city and seized all the women and smote them with the edge of the sword. And the sons of Jacob captured all the spoil and booty, flocks and herds and cattle. And the sons of Jacob did unto Machniah, and they had done to Tapnach, to Jasher, Shalom, and they returned from there and went away. And on the fifth day, the sons of Jacob heard that the people of Gash and had gathered against them in battle, because they had slain their king and their captains. For there had been 14 captains in the city of Gaash, and the sons of Jacob had slain them all in the first battle. That's crazy, man. And the sons of Jacob that day girt on their weapons of war, and they marched to battle against the inhabitants of Gaash. And in Gaash there was a strong and mighty people of the Amorites. And Gaash was the strongest and best fortified city of all the cities of the Amorites, and it had 3 walls. Wow. And the sons of Jacob came to Gaash, and they found the gates of the city locked, and about 500 men standing at the top of the outermost wall, and a people numerous as the sand of the sea shore, were in ambush for the sons of Jacob from without the city at the rear thereof. And the sons of Jacob approached to open the gate of the city, and whilst they were drawing nigh, behold, those who were in ambush at the rear of the city came from their place and surrounded the sons of Jacob. And the sons of Jacob were enclosed between the people of Gaash, and the battle was both to their front and rear. And all the men that were upon the wall were casting from the wall upon them arrows and stones. Dang. Verse 19. And Judah, seeing that the men of Gaash were getting too heavy for them, gave a most piercing and tremendous shriek. Man, there is a shriek. And all the men of Gaash were terrified at the voice of Judah's cry. And men fell from the wall at his powerful shriek.
Man, that again?
Man, it says, and the men fell from the wall at his powerful shriek. Man, this must have had some like special frequency, man, that he put out, that the Most High increased when he let out that shriek, man, because whatever it was, man, whatever it sounded like, man, was enough to knock them off the walls. And all those that were from without and within the city were greatly afraid for their lives. And the sons of Jacob still came nigh to break the doors of the city, when the men of Gaash threw stones and arrows upon them from the top of the wall and made them flee from the gate.
Hey, go to Mass. Be watching a lot of X-Men. That's right. Hey, it's got to be Banshee, right, man? You got some kind of sonic powerful voice that you can knock people off the wall. That's man. I'm telling you, every single X-Men power, almost or any of these special, superhero movies, man, all come from our forefathers. Every single one, almost. You'll see as we could continue reading the ability of our forefathers. Man, we ain't playing no games, man. And the sons of Jacob returned against the men of Gaash, who were with them from without the city, and they smote them terribly, as striking against girds, which means they're bums. Like girds are these little containers, you know what I'm saying? And you can hit a drum or make drums like a little instrument. And so they're just like striking against a drum. You know what I mean? They were just, slaying these heathens. Hey, but it's weird though, because you do see that every now and then there are a few strong heathens, even though they can't overwhelm our people, right? But I think it's like something like the same today, as we have, like, for example, like most of our people, let's say sports, that's just the easiest thing to compare. So that's why I'm always going to athletics. The most of our people, right, are in the NFL or whatever that I say, but it's mostly of our people that are in there. You have a sprinkle of heathens that are able to hang. And this is about, it looks like the same thing from back in those days, right? Those sprinkle of heathens, they're not as strong as our people, but, they're strong enough to be on the same team. But as you see back in these days, even those heathens, even though they were strong, but, they weren't stronger than Israel. It don't matter. Imagine all the fighting, tens of thousands of heathens our forefathers are slaying, and they got stamina for days, and they still in it, right? It don't tell them how long these battles was lasting either, right? This wasn't no day-by-day battle. This probably lasted for years. They was probably getting their stuff in, right? And the sons of Jacob slew all those men who were without the city, and the sons of Jacob still drew nigh to effect an entrance into the city and to fight under the city walls, but they could not, for all the inhabitants of Gaash who remained in the city had surrounded the wall of Gaash in every direction, so that the sons of Jacob were unable to approach the city to fight with them, right? So they look like they're trying to get smart, but it don't matter, because we got what? The power of the Most High with us. And the sons of Jacob came nigh to one another to fight under the wall. The inhabitants of Gaash threw arrows and stones upon them like showers of rain, and they fled from under the wall. And the people of Gaash who were upon the wall, seeing that the sons of Jacob could not prevail over them from under the wall, reproached the sons of Jacob these words, saying, why are they talking trash, right? You already know these heathens stay talking trash now. What is the matter with you in the battle that you cannot prevail? Can you then do unto the mighty city of Gaash and its inhabitants as you did to the cities of the Amorites who are not so powerful? Surely to those weak ones among us you did those things and slew them in the entrance of the city, for they had no strength when they were terrified at the sound of your shouting. And will you now then be able to fight in this place? Surely you will all die here, and we will avenge the cause of those cities that you have laid waste. And the inhabitants of Gash greatly reproached the sons of Jacob and reviled them with their gods, or reviled them with their gods, and continued to cast arrows and stones upon them from the walls. Now, see why they do that? Why they try to revile them with their false gods? Now, you know the Lord ain't gonna play with that, right? And Judah and his brother heard the words of the inhabitants of Gash, and their anger was greatly roused. And Judah was jealous of his God in this manner, and he called out and said, notice he did not talk trash back. He didn't try to, get involved with these heathens or none of that stuff. They started disrespecting the Lord, and you know what he did? He called out to the Lord. The first thing, this first answer, which should be our first to go to of every single thing, should be the Lord. He cried out and said, "Oh Lord, help. Send help to us and our brothers." And he ran at a distance, and with all his might, with his drawn sword in his hand, and he sprang from the earth, and by dint of his strength mounted the wall, and his sword fell from his hand. What? Are you serious, man? This man ran, jumped so hard, looked like he done put a dent in the earth with his strength, right? And then, like some Superman stuff, and then he done landed, and then, well, I guess he looked like his sword fell from his hand, so he dropped his sword as he mounted the wall. And Judah shot up upon the wall, and all the men that were upon the wall were terrified. And some of them fell from the wall into the city and died. And those who were yet upon the wall, when they saw Judah's strength, they were greatly afraid and fled for their lives into the city for safety. 31. Everybody's getting it in. Yeah, the hope was real. Facts. Superman, yeah, man. Our forefathers are unbelievable.
No.
It's on you, what?
Yep. That's some serious, man. And some were emboldened to fight with Judah upon the wall, and they came nigh to slay with him when they saw there was no sword in Judah's hand, and they thought of casting him from the wall to his brothers. And 20 men of the city came up to assist them, and they surrounded Judah, and they all shouted over him and approached him with drawn swords, and they terrified Judah. And Judah cried out to his brothers from the wall. Probably let out that screech again. And Jacob and his sons drew the bow from under the wall and smote 3 of the men that were upon the top of the wall. And Judah continued to cry and to exclaim, "O Lord, help us. O Lord, deliver us." And he cried out with a loud voice upon the wall, and the cry was heard at a great distance. And after this cry, he again repeated the shout, and all the men who surrounded Judah on the top of the wall were terrified, and they each drew his sword from his hand, and at the sound of Judah shouting and his tremor, and fled. and Judah took the swords which had fallen from their hands, and Judah fought with them and slew 20 of their men upon the wall. Dang, took it with their own swords.
That's how he got his sword back, man. When he called to the Lord had put that fear in the boy's heart in order to drop Judah a weapon.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
And about 80 men and women still ascended to the wall from the city, and they all surrounded Judah. And the Lord impressed the fear of Judah in their hearts, that they were unable to approach him. Man. And Judah and all who were with them drew the bow from under the wall, and they slew 10 men upon the wall, and they fell below the wall before Jacob and his sons. And the people upon the wall, seeing that 20 of their men had fallen, they still ran towards Judah with drawn swords, but they could not approach him, for they were greatly terrified at Judah's strength. Man, the sight of that, man, right there, and that tells you, how the Most High was with us and with his people. And one of their mighty men, whose name was Arud, approached to strike Judah upon the head with his sword. And Judah hastily put his shield to his head, and the sword hit the shield, and it was split in two. So, them dudes, they wouldn't they were amateur fighters, man. You know, they could fight too, but they didn't have the strength of our forefathers. And this mighty man, after he struck Judah, ran for his life. As soon as he hit him there, he saw the image of Judah. He just took off. He said,
"Man, how you gonna hit and run?"
At the fear of Judah, and his feet slipped upon the wall, and he fell amongst the sons of Jacob. You know, it's over now. Who were below the wall, and the sons of Jacob smote him and slew him. Oh man, that's great. And Judah's head pained him from the blow of the powerful man, and Judah had nearly died from it.
Dang. Yeah. So these jokers, man, they were strong, man. Like I'm telling you, Israel, like a couple of these heathens, man, they got some power. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It sounds like, man, they need to get a better shield maker too. I don't know about y'all, but 2 shields busting. Hey, man, I'm gonna have to whoever making the shields, man, y'all gonna have to do a better job.
Oh, those are pretty strong shields, man. But the power that's coming behind it, man, that's just another thing.
And plus, too, man, there's no telling how many blows that shield's already taken that day.
Exactly.
All those heathens. All right, verse 41, Jasher chapter 39. And Judah cried out upon the wall, owing to the pain produced by the blow. When Dan heard him, and his anger burned within him, and he also rose up and went at a distance and ran and sprang from the earth and mounted the wall with his wrath exciting strength. This is how it should be, right? It said he heard a heathen, right? And he heard the pain from his brother's voice from being hit and having to block it with the sword. I mean, of having to block that blow. Man, that made Dan mad. Dan was so mad that he ran and he hopped up on the wall just like Judah did. And when Dan came upon the wall and near unto Judah, all the men upon the wall fled who stood against Judah. And they went up to the second wall, and they threw arrows and stones upon Dan and Judah from the second wall, and they endeavored to drive them from the wall. And the arrows and stones struck Dan and Judah, and they had nearly been killed upon the wall. And whenever Dan and Judah fled from the wall, they were attacked with arrows and stones from the second wall. Hey, man, this is beastly. So like, you know, like this is it, you know, like this is real life. So it's not like that, you know, they blocking, you know, every damn arrow that's thrown at them, man. You know, so just imagine Judah and Dan, they running and they fighting. They got arrows sticking out their legs, arrows sticking out their arms, and they still, you know, slaying these heathens like it's nothing. And Jacob and his sons were still at the entrance of the city below the first wall, and they were not able to draw their bow against the inhabitants of the city, as they could not be seen by them, being upon the second wall. And Dan and Judah, when they could no longer bear the stones and arrows, they fell upon them from the second wall. They both sprang up the second wall to the people of the city. Hey. They didn't run. Imagine getting hit with rocks and arrows. They's like, nah, we going into the fray.
Them probably bumped the sons of Jacob like it wasn't nothing, man. He's probably knocking them out the way with the swords.
They went into the fray, Israel. They said, nah. We ain't gonna run to get them to stop. We gonna run toward them and kill them to stop them.
Yep.
And Dan and Judah, when they could no longer bear the stones and arrows that fell upon them from the second wall, they both sprang up the second wall near the people of the city. And when the people of the city who were upon the second wall saw that Dan and Judah had come to them upon the second wall, they all cried out and descended below between the walls. And Jacob and his sons heard the noise of the shouting from the people of the city, and they were still at the entrance of the city, and they were anxious about Dan and Judah, who were not seen by them, but being upon the second wall. And Naphtali went up with his wrath excited might, and sprang upon the first wall to see what caused the noise of shouting which they had heard in the city. And Issachar and Zebulun drew nigh to break the doors of the city, and they opened the gates of the city and came into the city. Hey, man, strong, man. So we just got, I guess we got the service, man. They just, you know, they're just there for backup. While the main force, you know, we the 12 brothers, man, we doing all the main of the killer. And Naphtali leapt from the first wall to the second. What? And Naphtali leapt from the first wall to the second, and came to assist his brothers, and the inhabitants of Gash. Now, remember how far the second wall was, because remember, they had to run up the second wall. They had to get down, run, and get close to them because they was firing the arrows from over there and they couldn't take it no more. So Naphtali is such a beast. He done leaped from the first wall to the second wall and came to assist his brothers. And the inhabitants of Gash were upon the wall, seeing that Naphtali was the third who had come up to assist his brothers. They all fled and descended into the city. And Jacob and all his sons and all their men came into the city to them. And Judah and Dan and Naphtali descended from the wall into the city and pursued the inhabitants of the city. And Simeon and Levi were from without the city and knew not that the gate was opened. And they went up from there to the wall and came down to their brothers into the city. And the inhabitants, Khan.
That's some serious wall leaping, boy.
Khan. You want to make this the last chapter, Ak?
Yeah, we can.
All right, Khan. And the inhabitants of the city had all descended into the city, and the sons of Jacob came to them in different directions. And the battle waged against them from the front and the rear, and the sons of Jacob smote them terribly and slew about 20,000 of them, men and women. Not one of them could stand up against the sons of Jacob. Boy, I man. I wanted to read verse 51. Go ahead, that's a good verse right there.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, because it goes to 65. So you want to read the next 5, man? I'll take the rest.
Okay, Con. All right, so I'll read the next 5. It says, and the blood flowed plentifully in the city, and it was like a brook of water, and the blood flowed like a brook to the outer part of the city and reached the desert of Beth Corin. Man, that was some serious killing we was doing. Man, when they had 120 of us all together, right? 150 of us all together, right? 20,000 men and women dead. And the people of Beth Corin saw at a distance the blood flowing from the city of Gash. And about 70 men from amongst them ran to see the blood, and they came to the place where the blood was. Just imagine that, man, seeing so much blood pouring out of the city. You're like, man, what is this? What is going on here? The wrath of our forefathers through the power of the Most High was flowing through our thorn. That's what was going on.
Man, that's something. Where you stop at? Get off. Something happened? You hear me? Yeah, I think something happened to A-Town's computer. We'll wait for him to get back on. Can y'all hear me? I thought it was my side that was doing that. I'm not sure what happened. But he all the scriptures up. Oh, let me let him know he froze up. All right, Yasharel. He said his internet went out on him. So it looks like he's going to be out. So we were almost done with that anyway. But, hey, I just want to show y'all something right quick. I'm going to pull up a scripture. Let them know I'm closing out right quick. So y'all remember when all those, like, if you thought that, I mean, like the power of our people, man, when the Most High was upon the 12 tribes and how our people, man, are just, I mean, man, it's amazing. And when you read Isaiah 40, it says, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are accounted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he takes up the isles as a very little thing. It says, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. You know, this right here goes to show you everything that we was reading, Yasharel, tells you that how the Most High favors our people. And that's why in today's time, you know, when we look out and we see our people, man, cooning, acting out, not keeping the commandments, yeah, can you imagine what that's doing to the Most High, man? Can you imagine how proud we can make them if our people just came back to keep the laws and commandments? And what we just saw in the book of Jasher with all the brothers, man, going to war with these nations, man, that's just the tip of the iceberg. All right, brother Aiton's back on. That was just the tip of the iceberg. But let me show you one more scripture before we get back to it. All right, I'm gonna show you one more scripture.
Block Israel. There's internet issues.
Oh yeah, you must got a storm going out there, man. I'm gonna show one more scripture right quick, man, and then we can finish up that finish up the book.
Let me put that back on the screen too. It's locking.
All right. This right here is probably one of my most favorite scriptures right here. It says, and now, therefore, if you will hearken to my voice and guard my commandments, my statutes, and my Torah, then will I cause your enemies to fall before you, and I will multiply your seed like the stars of heaven, and I will send my blessing upon all the works of your hands, and ye shall lack nothing. So when them boys are fighting like that, man, that right there tells you, man, when you are in good graces of the Most High, hey, man, your enemies will fall before you. And that's exactly what was going on with the 12 tribes, man, when they were fighting these other nations. Man, enemies was just falling. All right. I'm not sure where you left off at, so you froze up at 52, verse 52.
Okay, Well, I'll just read. I'll read 53 over.
Okay.
Come on, pops. You know I pay my power bill. I don't write it up. All right, 53. And they followed the track of blood and came to the wall of the city of Gaash. And they saw the blood issue from the city, and they heard the voice of the crying from the inhabitants of Gaash, for it ascended unto heaven. And the blood was continuing to flow abundantly like a brook of water. Yeah, man, we were slaying them heathens, right? I can't wait till them days return.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Instead of us getting slayed all the time. No, man, come on. And all the sons of Jacob were still smiting the inhabitants of Gaash, and were engaged in slaying them till evening, about 20,000 men and women. And the people of Corinth said, surely this is the work of the Hebrews, for they are still carrying on war in all the city of the Amorites. And those people hastened and ran to Beth Corin, and each took his weapons of war. They cried out to all the inhabitants of the Beth Corin, who also girt on their weapons of war to go and fight with the sons. They said to fight with the sons of Jacob, right? Because they didn't want to. I don't know why they did that. Let's go ahead.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get it. And when the sons of Jacob had done smiting the inhabitants of Gaash, they walked about the city to strip all the slain. And coming in the innermost part of the city, and farther on, they met three very powerful men, and there was no sword in their hand. And the sons of Jacob came up to the place where they were, and the powerful men ran away. And one of them had taken Zebulun, who he saw was a young lad and of short stature, and with his might dashed him to the ground. And Jacob ran to him with his sword, and Jacob smote him below his limbs and with the sword, and cut him in two, and the body fell upon Zebulun. Oh yeah, man, at 105 to cut somebody in two with a sword, man, they take some serious strength.
Yeah,
and a very sharp sword, and a very sharp sword. Yep. And the second one approached and seized Jacob to to fell him to the ground. And Jacob turned to him and shouted to him, while Simon and Levi ran and smote him on the hips with the sword and felled him to the ground. And the powerful men rose up from the ground with a wrath excited might. And Judah came to him before he had gained his footing and struck him upon the head with the sword. And his head was split and he died.
We don't care about that. Yeah, we don't care about that last roar.
No, man.
Death.
And the third powerful man, seeing that his companions were killed, ran before the sons of Jacob. And the sons of Jacob pursued him in the city. And whilst the powerful man was fleeing, he found one of the swords of the inhabitants of the city, and he picked it up and turned to the sons of Jacob and fought them with that sword. And the powerful man ran to Judah to strike him upon the head with the sword. And there was no shield in his hand of Judah. And whilst he was aiming to strike him, Naphtali hastily took his shield and put it to Judah's head. And the sword of the powerful man hit the shield of Naphtali, and Judah escaped the sword. And Simeon and Levi ran upon the powerful man with their swords and struck at him forcibly with their swords. And these two swords, with the two swords, entered into the body of the powerful man and divided it into two, lengthwise. Dang.
No, hey.
That was from head to toe. That's from head to toe.
Facts. From head to toe, Israel. He said chopped him in the half at the growing.
Mm-hmm. And the sons of Jacob smote the three mighty men at that time together with all the inhabitants of Gash, and the day was about to decline. And the sons of Jacob walked about Gash and took all the spoil of the city, even the little ones and women they did not suffer to live. And the sons of Jacob did unto Gash as they had done to Sorton and Shiloh. Yeah, man. You don't play around with the Most High's anointed, with his people.
Simeon and Levi, man, them boys fight together, man. Hey, man, it's beautiful, man. You know what I'm talking about? That
Yep.
They don't play no games.
Yep.
Man, they might struck. I mean, like, just imagine how good their their teamwork had to be able to stick their sword in the dude at the same time, and he knew to go up and he knew to go down to slice dude in half. Man, they probably turned around and did some kind of hero pose after that. So I looked at his brother and smiled. Yeah, that's crazy.
You already know, man.
Tori Hanzo, yeah, man, legendary swords maker. Yeah, he probably did have one of those. Ain't no telling all the gifts that our people was getting back in them days.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that is insane. We'll put a link in the description, and if we have anyone that want to come on, they want to discuss anything that we've been talked about in the past, or dealing with this lesson, or you have any kind of disagreements or something, feel free to come on. We're gonna leave this open for a little while, and if not, I take it that everybody they got edified today. All praises to the Most High.
All praises.
All right.
Yeah, man. That is something though, man. We definitely got to make a movie out of this, man. Something.
God, you ain't lying.
Like, this can't go on like. But I bet you, man, like when we go into the wilderness, man, when the Most High reveals everything, man, we're gonna be able to see everything, man, from footage to footage, man, like everything in detail.
God, I know that's right, man.
Yep.
Man, them brothers Simeon and Levi, man, them brothers be working good together, man. Hey, broski. You know what I'm saying? Them two be feeding each other ideas. Because them two was the ones that came up with the idea to come and ransack and kill all the Shechem. And trick them boys to get circumcised and all of that. Them two came up with that. Them boys beasts, man. Yep. See why the Lord was real, why the priesthood came out of Levi. Raise it. Them boys killed them boys, killing them up good, man. All praise it to the Most High, man. Man, another blessed Shabbat. Which then does not give us the
Sure.
spirit of fear. Let's see, to be afraid. Absolutely not. We don't have the spirit of fear. All right, Israel, do you have any other questions? If not, our forefathers. No, that's right, man. Are y'all liking the Jasher series, Israel? Y'all liking the Jasher series? I know some of the stuff y'all haven't heard before. Man, but you know, if y'all liking the Jasher series, let us know. Put a 1 down there in the comments. If y'all liking what we're doing in Jasher, if this is edifying, if some of this stuff y'all haven't heard before, if it, you know, makes sense, it's starting to clear up some things that aren't clear in the canon. Right. Hey, have we read through Jubilees? We haven't read through Jubilees, have we?
No, this is the first book we've ever read through. For a lesson.
Okay, all praises.
Yeah, Jasher, yeah. Jubilees is almost kind of like the same account, but it's not as detailed. It's not as detailed as Jasher. One thing it'd probably take a long time, man. The Book of Enoch.
That's right.
But
definitely.
But at least the first part, because we covered one of the prophecies, so we can skip that one. But yeah, but if there's something like y'all want us to like cover in the future after you finish the Book of Jasher, let us know.
All praises, man.
And even if we don't finish the Book of Jasher, we will take breaks from time to time and like focus on something that maybe like you want to, like we did with Esau. We wanted to make sure that we get that in the clear, because a lot of our people still are really hooked on that, like phonics. They just hooked on phonics, man.
Think the white man is Esau and think he's still alive.
The white man is his brother. Exactly. Calling the white man your brother, man. I'm like, man, what kind of BS is that?
All right, Israel, I'm turning it over to Brother Daniel. I see we don't have any questions. All praises to the Most High that our brothers and sisters was edified today during the lesson, and y'all pretty much understand what's going on. Man, I love going over our history, man, and seeing how great our forefathers were. But it's also, it's saddening to see, how we've become a shadow of our former selves, right? And how far we've been removed from the bloodline that now, we're, if you can jump 10 foot, man, that's something. You think that you're doing something. You can dunk a basketball. When back in the day, our forefathers, they were jumping over, super high walls. You know what I mean? It looks like the wall of the Great China and Trump's wall. God, right? A lot of fall from glory, man. That's what happens though when you don't keep the commandments, right? The Lord wasn't playing no games when he said he was gonna make them boys the head and make us the tail.
That's right.
All right. You still see remnants of the power of our forefathers, but
it's gonna be a beautiful day though, man. When and I truly believe the Most High is allowing things to happen this way so that to try to get our people to be aware, because man, our people for so long, man, our people were brainwashed to believe that somehow, man, that even though we're in this America melting pot, that it's going to work out some kind of way. Man, it was never a melting pot nation, was never ever meant to work out for anyone, because you can't live like that. The Most High has always had all the nations divided in their certain regions. But our people constantly trying to mingle in, man, with the enemy, and thinking that someday, man, it's going to work out. No, it's not going to work out.
Never. It's going to work out.
And that's why Donald Trump is in office for a reason, because he's probably the best thing to happen for our people. Let me tell you why. Because a lot of people now are saying what they were saying about us so many years ago, what they always wanted to say. But yet our people, man, get so brainwashed. It's like, no, we don't see color. That's not the way they see it, and that's not the way the Most High sees it. So y'all just got to come to reality, man. The realization that no matter what you try, you're not going to get these heathens to like you.
Never. That's never going to happen.
The scripture says that you should be hated among all. We're the only people, man, that do that stuff. They're trying to get other nations to like us. Like we're trying to fit in with every other nation, and we want them to accept us.
Yeah, I gotta stop with that.
When they've been telling you for thousands of years they don't like your ass, and you keep trying to bust their door down and invite yourself in.
I mean, I don't know, man. That's just, I don't know, Israel. Yeah, I mean, like, think about that. You know what I mean? Is that what you really want to do? Sit up there and beg at the white man's door? You know what I mean? Be like that beggar. You know what I'm saying? You just begging for table scraps, right? Man, you don't want to You want to hold on? Let me bring Deuteronomy 32 real quick. Then I'll let's see. This is one of my favorite scriptures, man. All right. Oops, at the stage. It says Deuteronomy 32, right? If I whet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and reward them that hate me. Right? The rest of the nations, they hate the Most High, right? They hate Hamashiach. They don't want Hamashiach coming back, right? They want to continue to rule this, so they want to continue to rule the four quarters of the earth. That's what they want to do. They want to continue to rule in wickedness. They don't want righteousness to come. Well, don't worry. The Lord said He's going to take that glittering sword and chop them heathens up again. I can't wait to see it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Even if I'm dead, I pray that the Most High gives me like a TV or something so I can see what's going on in the material world while Hamashiach is back with them chariots. Man, I hope I can at least see it.
Mm-hmm. I'll show you something right quick. And this is the kind of idiocracy I'm talking about right here. That our people still do today. You want to go and be accepted by the white man. Man, these people were idiots, man. Our people were idiots back then. You want to go into another man's restaurant, people who don't like you, who hate you, and you sitting up there and just taking it, getting beat up. But that's what they were doing. That's what they're getting our people to do. And majority of our people didn't want this. It was the white liberals teaming up with coon Negroes to push this mess.
And what the scripture says in Iraq?
Yeah, that's why you had the black. Yeah, that's why you had the Black Panther movement, because they were like separations, and you weren't trying to. Let's get our own establishment as good as we cook. Why are you going up in their restaurants trying to feed your face?
So Iraq says, never trust your enemies. Never trust your enemies. There's no such thing as a good African, or such thing as a good any of these He is not a good white man, none of these. Right?
You know, Muhammad Ali gave a good analogy. You know, he said if you got 100 snakes chasing after you, and if there's only like 3 snakes that don't mean you no harm, you're not gonna stop to try to find out which snake doesn't mean you no harm. You're gonna just kill all of them.
Yeah, so it's so bad about they know the truth about us. Yeah, everybody knows the truth about us but us. That's the secret. And
but us, that is the caveat. But us. Even our enemies, man, know who we are, but we don't, because we don't even care. You already know what Isaiah 1:3 says. So I mean, it says they don't even consider, they don't even care.
Yeah, parasitic mindset back then. Yeah, true. Our people did have parasitic mindset, especially coming from slavery. So, like, you know, I can't say, I don't know, man. If I would just come out and get my ass whooped for 400 years and I saw my grandma, my great grandma, and all of them going through all of that, there's no way I'm trying to be around these same people, man. But then again, you know, there is a such thing as, what's that syndrome we always say? The doggone Stockholm syndrome, right? We always say there's such thing as Stockholm syndrome, and that's a proven thing, and we see it today. I mean, even so bad that you see the camps, right? They they want to say that the white man is their brother. So like that, you can see slavery really did a number on our people to the point that our minds are really, really destroyed. You know, the scriptures was not joking when it said that the curses would come on us in Deuteronomy.
That's right.
God, saying Deuteronomy 28, saying that we're going to be destroyed as a people. We are truly destroyed as a people. All right. We believe that the white man is our brother. Talking about he Esau. The sisters don't want to wear their own hair. They, the pictures they think they look good. The best in, man, they got straight hair. All kinds of foolishness. So our people are really destroyed.
People going around talking about, I don't believe in color. Okay, good luck with that.
Yeah.
So it's just they're always trying to find excuse. They'll find every excuse, but not to keep the commandments. If you keep the commandments, you would embrace your race. You keep the commandment, you embrace your true culture, which is the Torah. They talking about this new. They talking about this black culture thing. What do you mean when you say black culture? I know you're not talking about the hood mentality. Is that what you're talking about when you say black culture? Like, what is that? FBA, Foundation of Black America. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that founded on? Because it's not founded on the Torah.
That's right.
It's just some made up ass name that you claim so that you can get some kind of solidarity or something. But what is it? Come on, explain that. What does Foundational Black America mean? What is that? That's nothing but built off of the traditions of which you acquired during and after slavery. Our people still celebrate the holidays. That's not ours. That's European stuff. But yet you say you got a black culture. Man, our people eating pig feet and lobsters and all kinds of crabs and all kinds of crazy stuff.
And that's totally opposite of our culture.
You saying that that's black culture? Gospel music is black. Man, what is gospel music? Gospel music is a result of them putting churches in front of your little slave camps. And that's all you did was sing and pray. And then get your ass in them fields and work 12 hours a day.
Stuff is crazy, huh? You know what I mean? I pray to our people, man. I'm so thankful for the ones that are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Because we're, putting a hasten under this.
It must be if FBA is founded on niggerism. Yeah, you right about that, because I still don't know what that joint is. I ain't seen one person that they can find it, and then when they try to define it, they're going around in circles. They're like adding bits and pieces. Well, our music. Okay, what about our music?
Yeah, pops. Yeah, having to ride in the back of the bus. Yeah, civil rights is, I guess it's good, but I would much rather, us be, like the scriptures say, us separated from these heathen.
Like our own utopia, right? Yeah, our own utopia, keeping the laws of the Most High. See, and that's what Israel was all about, and that's what King David's kingdom was all about. It was like, you might as well say it was their own utopia. Because
if you got these heathens giving us power like civil rights or something like that, then they're still in control. Like, we really don't own nothing.
Right. Even segregation, like you might be segregated, but you're not separated though. And segregation, even under segregation, you still got to rely on them to provide stuff.
Yeah, man, they got us, Israel. But don't worry, though. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, and the Lord's going to bring back order, right? He's going to restore our heritage, and we're going to get these heathens back for every atrocity, every wrongdoing that they've done. Hey, we don't care about the wicked. The wicked will get their just deservings. Let them die a horrible death, right? Because they're holding us back. But those are the righteous, right? The Most High is coming for the righteous. He's not coming for the wicked, right? The Most High, he's not, sending his son back for the wicked, right? We're remaining righteous so that the Most High can come back. We're the ones that are calling and crying back for the Lord to come back, right? We're not worried about the wicked. Just like the scriptures say that there's no need for you to rebuke a fool, right? Those over there that are wanting to be wicked on purpose, just leave them be, right? The Most High gonna take care of them. They're gonna die. We don't want them in the kingdom anyway. We got, we want brothers and sisters in the kingdom that come to the Most High on their own without having to be forced. So that way we know we don't have no problems when we get to the kingdom or when we're in the wilderness. I don't have to doggone, put no knife in no brother's neck for over there trying to worship false gods or, trying to be, what I'm saying, or any other kind of crazy stuff.
See, what's this? We had our own communities like Black Wall Street, kept to ourselves, and destroyed and burnt them down. And it's always it was always over some accused black man raping a white woman or harming a white woman or something.
But why, Sister Rachel? Like, why were we? Why were they getting destroyed and burned down? Right. If you remember, if you look back at those times, even after we came out of captivity during that time, during that 400 year or 400 something year, rough spot that we was dealing with these albino heathens, that after that, right, we didn't go back to our culture, right? Our culture had pretty much been wiped away. They pretty much beat it out of us, beat out our Hebrew language, right? We weren't allowed to even speak our Hebrew language or anything. They beat it out of us to the point where we were pretty much chocolate color heathens, you know what I mean? Because look, we were dressing like them, we were doing all kinds of stuff, keeping their same traditions, and we wasn't keeping the traditions of the Most High God. So he's not going to bless anything that we're trying to live like the nations. That's how we got into the situation that we got into now in the first place, trying to live like the other nations. The Lord ain't never blessed us when we try to do that. So no matter Black Wall Street or any of these other towns and cities that we have built up, the Lord was going to destroy it until we come back to him.
That's right. Because what the scripture says, that it says that no man shall save you. And so you're not, even yourselves, you're not going to be able to rise up out the dust because you're not keeping the commandments. And just like any other black community that try to come up and they want to do that, you know, and that's something I've always noticed, that they may be successful, but guess what? They're still practicing the same tradition of the heathens. So like brother said, they're just chocolate coated heathens. I mean, they going to church on Sundays, they got their churches, you know, they're not keeping the Shabbat.
They're gonna get destroyed. The understanding is lacking.
This is why we have to completely be eradicated from them. As far as going into the wilderness, we have to be totally separated from them, because there's no way that we can build something amongst them unless it is a utopia where you have strong brothers who are sincerely keeping the commandments, and they have their own resource, they grow their own resources, produce their own resources, all that.
God.
But you're not going to see nothing like that exist at all on the planet.
But until we obey God's commandments, as it says in 65, and among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart and a failing of eyes and a sorrow of mind, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. Right? As you see what was going on, like the sister said, right, during those times where had Black Wall Street and all this other stuff, that we was getting destroyed. Right? Hey man, it's not a game. If we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? All this started. The Lord gave you the all the blessings in the beginning. Look at all the blessings was great. You know what I mean? It said the Lord shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face, and they shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. Like, we didn't have any problem with these heathens and stuff like that. And I mean, back in those days, man, you saw the blessings that the Lord had saw. Man, we just read it. We read that just even before the Lord even decided to make this known. You were seeing that the blessings that our forefathers was getting. There's no way you got 100 and something brothers, and then you got an old man who 105 years old killing. I mean, they killing so much, you got blood flowing out the city gates like river. Man, we weren't afraid. If we were afraid, we called on the Most High, and the Most High sent down the spirit of courage on the brothers to continue slaying these heathens like they was nothing, like they were girds. Like I'm beating on a drum. Without the grace of the Most High, right, it's going to be all the way down to the bottom, right? Scriptures say, and this is why we're in a situation where we're in. They say, and no man shall buy you, which means ain't no man gonna save us. That's why we must believe in Hamashiach. We must keep the commandments. This is why we're the only one that is spread to the 4 corners. We're the only one without a language. We're the only one without a land. We're the only one that don't even know who we are, where we came from, a loss of heritage, deaf, dumb, and blind all the way around. We're the lost sheep. There's no other nations around here.
Most of them don't even, and most of them don't even care to even know.
Con. That's Brother Dunn. He ain't read that in a while. Brother Dunn used to give you that once a day.
Here, let me get to him again. I got you.
Well, I thought, dang it, I do it. Go ahead.
Bring up. Hey, go to Isaiah 1:3 for me, please.
God, I got you, brother. Let me bring it up for you.
Read that.
Put on screen, man. That's Brother Daniel's favorite one right there. We got to get that to you before we out of here.
That's one of million favorites. That's one of million of my favorites. Remember that. It says the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, My people doth not consider. It means they don't give a damn. Sinful nation, a people laden with iniquities, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards. Man.
Oh man.
Gone away back. And that's exactly what we have, man. But our people think we're coming up. They think we're coming up. Man, we're just going further and backwards, further and further backwards.
Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick.
When you got 80% of households being led by single black mothers, man, and no fathers, man, that's a recipe for disaster. That's like a set destruction within itself, man. That's scary.
But see what the scriptures say, man. They know that, but I just read it. They will revolt more and more.
Yep.
All right, Israel. I'm done yapping.
All righty, Yasharel. Well, with all that being said, I pray that you all edified. Until next time, we'll continue with the book of Jasher. And we'll get it in because, hey, it's a lot more. I mean, this book is just full of wonders of our history. And this is where it all came from. All right, well, with that being said, Yasharel, we're going to bid you a hearty Shabbat Shalom.
And stay strong, Israel. Stay strong.
All praise to the Most High.